Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, if you are listening to the sound of my voice, then you know you are tuned in to another episode of Marking Out Amongst Friends, the podcast. It's your boy, Jay Reedy in the building. And you know if I'm in here, I ain't never in here by myself. I ain't never in here by my lonely. I always roll deeps and whatnot. All right, if I'm in here, then you know who else is in here. The master of swerves and curves herself, the first lady of podcasts, the resident expert on the panel. All right, Lady Great One, say hi to the people.
What is going on, everybody? Are y'all feeling lovely tonight? It's the final season, so we're gonna do it right.
Okay, with the
Well, not
rhymes,
the final
okay.
season, not the final season, but the final episode of the season.
Off the top of the domes and whatnot, okay. All right, so you know we ain't in here alone either. Also in the building, we got rapper extraordinaire, writer extraordinaire, future podcast, future mogul, performer of our theme song, Mr. Hot Tag himself, Chill P in the building.
You already know it's Mr. Hot Tag. You always ready for that hot tag from my boy Jay Reedy doing his thing on the Marking Out Amongst Friends podcast. It's time to go tonight, y'all.
You dig? Also in here, he's everywhere. You ain't never there, especially at work because that's where he's at right now. All right, he's a very important person and he does very important things. Mr. VIP in the building.
Big things. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing tonight?
I think everybody out here is doing all right, if I do say so myself. But it's the season finale, y'all, man. 30 episodes deep into season 2. We got 2 years under our belt. We've been doing this thing for a minute. Not only have we been doing this thing for a minute, we've been doing this thing live for a minute. That's right. We started out this thing doing live streams every single week since day one. If that ain't day one-ish, then I don't know what it is. All right. So tonight, it's gonna be a little bit sentimental. We might get a little sad. There might be a little sadness going on and whatnot. You know, we might get a little teary-eyed. You know. But other than that, we're going to recap SummerSlam. We're going to recap TakeOver Toronto. And we're going to give you some of the things that we like most about this season. You know, some of our favorite moments. If you're listening live, you can give us some of your favorite moments. But before we get into any of that, y'all know what time it is.
It's time to hit our damn music.
He looks like a fan.
Marking out.
He was marking out, man.
450 off the top with the top. Leader of the new school, ain't no way to stop us. Mark it out, screaming loud, tell me who you with. Competition is none, cause we lunatics. Walk with me down these roads if you're all in. I love the feeling, baby, time to go to work again. Come together like a fist and we do it proud. Light it up and burn it down, cause we marking out now.
He was marking out, man.
All right, man. That's going to be the last time we play that. Well, second to last time we play that for the season. Oh, man. It's kind of actually really kind of setting in for a second. I don't know. We just started. I ain't going to get sentimental on y'all. Let's go ahead and jump into some of the recap. So that everybody...
Kicked off.
Right, let's get into some of the recap a little bit, you know what I'm saying? SummerSlam 2019 TakeOver Toronto. 2 really good shows in my opinion, actually. I know a lot of people will probably disagree with me on the SummerSlam slide. But I really like both pay-per-views this weekend. I think that this is probably one of the better pay-per-view weekends as far as the big 3, or I'm sorry, the big 4 goals that we've had this season. Of course, TakeOver was the shit. Did everybody get to watch both shows this weekend?
Yes.
No, I didn't get the SummerSlam.
Hey, you missed all of SummerSlam? It was like 5 hours.
Yeah. I heard what happened, but I didn't get to see it. How did it work?
Story of my life. That's what happens when you're an adult. You know,
What?
everything.
Yeah.
$9.99, you'll be able to see it.
And you
Only
know, for $9.99, shameless plug, shameless plug,
99.
shameless plug.
Right.
Sponsor us trips, Vince, whoever's in charge, Stephanie, Shane, Linda,
We need
You know you're listening. You're taking our ideas.
Jill Briscoe, Pat Patterson, whoever's listening.
creative.
You know what I'm saying? Hornswoggle. Um,
Can't
Oh
forget
no.
Hornswoggle.
The anonymous raw general manager.
Oh, cannot for that good one. Cannot forget them.
Duke the dumpster draws. No, I mixed two people up. Draws is somebody completely different. That's the guy that broke his freaking neck in the ring with D'Lo. All right,
Dixie
so
Carter. I know you're listening. Dixie Carter.
I'm not even gonna cap. I watched all of SummerSlam. I missed probably the first match or two on Takeover, so I did not get to fully get the full on Takeover experience all at one. I went back and watched a little bit of the Street Profits match the next day, but I missed probably the first two matches. One, which was one that I was talking some cash shit about, that I'm really mad that I missed, and that was that Candice LeRae versus Io Shirai match.
Man.
So y'all gave me the word that that was a really good match. So now that I got you guys on the air, you know what did Candice LeRae live up to the hype? Is she somebody that's worth a damn to care about going forward?
I
Kid-
definitely. Oh, my bad.
Oh no. You go ahead because you were the one who were trashing her. I was packing her. Go ahead.
That is true. And I am going to be the first to say, and I even messaged Jay this, she definitely gets a little, she definitely earned some rope. She definitely earns some keep. That match with Io was dope. It wasn't a match where Io just made her look good. She held her own. Um, Great spots during the match. Well, good spots during the match. Um, Io of course showed her greatness. But Candice was just she held her own. It was like I said, it was an exciting match, man. The spots on it were good. You didn't really see a lot of sloppiness in the match, which I don't really see would take over a lot anyway. But this match was very, very good. It actually ended up being my number two favorite match of the actual weekend.
Wow.
Of the whole weekend, not just from the
The
show,
whole
the whole
weekend.
weekend. Wow.
Wow.
Okay,
That's some rub there.
that's pretty strong. So that means that beat out three other matches that were on the same show with it.
That is a fact.
Ooh, I might have to go back and watch this match now. I'm very critical of Candice LeRae, if you guys have not noticed, especially over the last couple of weeks that we've been, doing this thing live or whatnot. I really think that she's kind of just been getting over on Johnny Gargano's name. So if she wrestled even slightly good, that's good for her, and I'll ease up on her a little bit. But I mean, I wouldn't be me if I didn't speak my truth in my mind. You know what I'm saying?
Well, about this, what I was saying is I think Candice LeRae as a wrestler is like on point. She doesn't mess up. She doesn't do botches. She hits everything perfectly. She sells very, very well. The only problem I have with Candice is she does not have a character. That's my problem with Candice. Candice is a great wrestler. I swear, like she is one of the most talented women in the business today. I will give her that props. She is very good at what she does. However, she does not have a strong character. Mia Yim, strong character. Shayna Baszler, strong character. Bianca Belair, strong character. Bailey, strong character. Charlotte, strong character. She does not have that strong character. She ain't Dana Brooke, character wise. Dana Brooke is entertaining to watch, and she's good to ring, and she's good at what she does, but she just doesn't have a strong character to follow.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my only issue with Candice LeRae, and I knew that this match was going to be a good match, and Io showed her ass off. I mean, I was an EO fan before. I'm even more of a fan. I love the music. I love the interest. I love the all black attire that she was wearing.
She was looking
Um,
so good. Sorry, I'm sorry.
no, she's gorgeous. Go ahead,
Lord
please.
have
She is.
How good
Yes,
she
she
looks.
is.
We can do that. We can talk about how good she looks because she looks incredible. But
Phenomenal.
She looks amazing.
not only the greatest wrestler in the world today, but the
but no,
fights. Lord. All right, back to you, Miss Swerves and Curves. I'm sorry.
it's okay. No human being is worthy to stand next to her in a ring. She didn't say no man. She didn't say no woman. She said no human being is worthy of standing next to her in the ring. And
I mean, that's
number
facts
one,
though.
number one wrestler in Japan, period, regardless of gender. I'm an EO fan. I
Facts.
don't give a damn.
Yeah,
I'm an EO fan.
that's definitely facts. That's definitely facts. So, of the night, there was a lot of great matches that Takeover always does. So what was the match of the night for Takeover for you guys? Personally, I'm gonna stick with my guns from what I thought last week, and from what I watched this past weekend. I want to say that the 2 or 3 falls match was the best match of the night, in my opinion. Now, um, it was. I think that the surprise cage match, which I think it was Mr. Hot Tag who called cage match
It would be
last
It was
week.
Mr. VIP
Dante.
on that.
Don,
Oh, it was Dante.
yep.
Oh, I'm sorry. I tried
Dante.
to
It
credit
was
somebody
me.
else.
It
All
was
right,
Mr.
Come on
VIP.
now.
Mr.
Yep.
VIP, Dante, whatever. We call you everything. We all know you. You know what your name is. But yeah, I think that the cage match, um, not only the cage match, but having like the different weapons like tied to the match, like I think they did that how the Ambrose Asylum was supposed to go.
Supposed to be the yeah. Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And the ending to that match, like the Panama Sunrise, um, off the ladder, and then the Avalanche flip power bomb. You know that there was a lot of great spots that were in that match, um, but just all 3 falls as a whole, like it told the match told a story. Everybody hit their spots. They had the crowd on their feet like you're supposed to. I mean, I don't think that in the business itself you could ask for anything else more than what that match delivered.
Hmm. I of course I said the EO match was my favorite. The reason why I say that was my favorite is because of course EO not only looks good, but she did a great job making Candace. And no, not taking anything away from Candace, but she did a great job making Candace look really, really good. She's so when Candace hit a big spot and everything, it was just I found myself really entertained and um very uh proud for back a better word in Candace Ray's performance. So, but in saying that, a slight second because I watched both of these matches a lot, few more than twice. Oh, I would have to go with the triple threat match, um, for the North American Championship. Amazing match. I honestly thought a few times that all three of the guys were gonna win that match. Legitimately thought that oh yeah, it's right. They're giving it to him. Great match. So and I think that was a big match under the Dreams belt. No pun intended. So I think that was a big win for him going forward in his career. I like that they kept it on him and continue to try to solidify that championship.
I couldn't say it more. I mean, that wasn't my number one. The triple threat match was not my number one. I definitely have to say that over the whole weekend, that's definitely in my top five, though. However, if I'm going to say my personal number one match, it actually goes on the main roster, believe it or not. And if you think that you know me and everything, you know I'm curving you right now. And no, my number one match of the night was definitely the 2 out of 3 falls. Johnny Gargano, Adam Cole. That was number one. Absolutely, there was nothing that any roster so far had done could top that match. That was definitely my number one match. However, I have to give a big rub to the main roster. And I was not expecting this match to be as good as it actually was. But the Bailey and Ember match, that match was
Oh
really,
man,
really good to me.
great call.
Bailey and Ember showed a lot on both ladies because Ember really didn't have that much of a story going in. And Bailey and Ember told a story. You could see how both of them were like wanting to fight against the odds and wanting to be in the spot. And they were, the timing of the match was good. The spot that they put that match in was good. It didn't follow something like completely trash, but it didn't end badly either. So I have to definitely give a lot of props there to Bailey and Ember for Ember not really to have done much and to kind of like been given the opportunity, and she took the ball and ran with it. So I definitely say that that was one of my favorite matches on the main roster. Period. Bailey and Ember.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say 2 out of 3 falls is probably my favorite. It was amazing. Like I said, when they went to the third fall and it was a cage match, and then with all the weapons that added the extra, like, oh shoot, we saw the cage and everybody's like, okay, it's a cage match, and then you saw everything that was in there, you're like, oh shit, they just turned it up a notch. Um, I like the 2 out of 3 falls. I mean, the triple threat match. It just, it didn't seem like it was the best match they had done, or the best match they could have done with them three wrestlers. So it didn't feel like it was the best match I'd seen out of any one of the three. Um, but yeah, the 2 out of 3 falls match was amazing, start to finish.
Can we just say that we've talked about match of the year already several times. 2 out of 3 falls should be the clear winner so far this year for match of the year. I've not seen anything before it so far. I'm just saying this to date. If there was supposed to be a match of the year candidate and this was the cutoff, that would be the match of the year. So if we're only in August and I'm already saying that this is going to win, something is going to happen in these next 4 months that might make me be like, oh shoot, well, you remember that 2 out of 3 falls match there, the Johnny Gargano Adam Cole had? Wow, this is if please change my mind. Continue to build stories like this. Please change my mind. Please continue to put on the high level of matches that are entertaining. I watched this pay-per-view with Mr. VIP. That's my cousin. If y'all didn't know, I was first to Curtis. He's VIP. We're everywhere. You're never there. But I had to do that. I'm sorry. But we watched this match, and my arm has a bruise from the slapping on the side of my arm. Like, check this out. Look, 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 look. I mean, my arm is still tender from how many times I got hit from that match.
Yeah, that's definitely Mr. VIP. Just thinking about that, I'm like, yeah. Every time he get excited, just slap the hell out your shoulder. Bow! Oh my God, did you see that? No, I just saw you slap the shit out of me.
Make sure you pay attention. Did you feel
um,
that?
oh my
Yes, I
goodness,
felt it.
heavy-handed ass. But yeah, I think that the show the show itself is really great. Velveteen Dream beating Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong was definitely a great match. Um, I'm almost like to the point where I really want to see Velveteen get called up, and I know I'm like the only NXT fan that would probably say that. Every other true NXT fan will probably say, "No, I want him to stay there forever. They're gonna mess him up on the main roster." Blah blah blah. Velveteen has already shown what he can do um, on NXT without even having the NXT championship. He's consistently been one of the biggest stars that they had. Um, So I think that there's really not much left to prove other than winning the NXT Championship. If he goes to the main roster without doing so, I mean that's fine. Ricochet never did it. You know, look at where Ricochet's at right now. So I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to mess his character up just because he goes up. I'm ready to see Velveteen go up. There were two matches that we didn't get to see on the show that are for future tapings. Um, I don't want to give you the results to that just because they're future tapings. Somebody might not have heard what's going to happen. One of those was the breakout tournament match. It looks like that occurred as a pre-show off-air match. The winner of that has been crowned. Um, but I don't know. I'm gonna leave it up to you guys that are on the panel right now. Should I tell who won the breakout tournament, or should I wait till they hear?
Hell,
If you don't,
WWF has already told.
Say what?
WWE already told when they say it. I said they already told it on the WWE. Go on and tell it.
Oh, okay. Well, our local
if you
hometown.
didn't, I will.
Our local hometown boy that we may or may not have been biased for the whole tournament was defeated. Cameron Grimes, aka Trevor, took an L to ACH with his new name in WWE, Jordan Miles. So that means Jordan Miles will now get a future opportunity at either NXT Championship, I believe that was the stipulation, either an NXT title match or a NAT match, whichever one he decides to choose.
Yes, that was the stipulation. I just watched that earlier today. Yes, he gets to choose his championship match.
So with that being said, um, being that we're going to take a break before November when we return for Survivor Series, this may or may not occur before we get to come back and talk about it. So who do you think Jordan Miles is going to pick? Do you think he's going to go up against Adam Cole, baby? Or do you think that he goes straight against the Dream and challenges the Dream for the neck?
I think he's going to go for Adam.
I was going to say I think Adam. The Dream won the same, like a similar tournament, and he took the North America. So somebody else won another tournament. I think he's going to go for the world. I don't know. I don't know if y'all know. Do they have a history in Ring of Honor? Adam Cole and ABA.
Yeah.
I'm
not aware. Go ahead and fill us in if you can.
No, I'm asking you. I'm saying, did they have a history in Ring of Honor? Because that would easy way for him to build somebody he's familiar with, and he knows that he can have a great match with. That's why they were going and put them two together. Adam Cole needs somebody else.
I'm gonna fact check that right now. So you go ahead and run with that.
But I think, I think he should go for the world. Like I said, Adam Cole needs somebody new now. They fought multiple matches, and it's time for him to fight somebody new. It'll be another way to break out this new star, show this new face to the world, and let him shine on an even bigger stage.
That's cool. I really think I see him really challenging for the net. You know what I'm saying? The North American title. I see him going after that and have them elevate him, but elevate him in a certain way, and show give them a platform to where they show that maybe it possibly without having to really bury him by him going after the NXT Heavyweight Championship and possibly not obtaining that. You go after the net, you probably can have a storyline or a situation where it's really seem to be obtainable. So I really kind of see him going after the North American Championship.
Yeah.
Disagree.
I,
After reading, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jump in there, but after reading some history there, Adam Cole and ACH, aka Jordan Miles, they have fought for a Super Card of Honor um, back in 2016. So they have had history together, and I do not think that ACH, or excuse me, Jordan Miles will go for anybody but Adam Cole, baby.
I'm gonna have to agree with Chill on this one. My thought process is always go big or go home. You know, so I know personally, if I won the breakout tournament, I'm on Adam Cole ass. But the undisputed era is a whole different beast to go up against when you're
Yeah.
debuting and you're by yourself. So
Right.
unless he comes out of nowhere with a whole new stable, I don't see him getting past Adam Cole. Now they could definitely have a phenomenal match, um, whatever match that they do. But I just think that there's a better odds-on chance for him to take on uh, the Dream than for him to go up against Adam Cole in that instance.
You gotta look at the statistics. Adam Cole has lost more than the Dream has. So since he's won the title, who is Dream lost to? Adam Cole has lost.
Yeah.
Like I said, and when they actually go for the title, the Undisputed Era hasn't been interfering in the match. Yeah, he's not gonna win, but at least he's gonna go for the main title just to show what he could do. Um, and Adam Cole will give him a great match or whatever. I just think, like I said, if he's gonna win this tournament, he's gonna try to show the world he need to try to go for the big boy. But either way, it's gonna be good, whichever one he picks.
Also, I will go ahead and say this. Pete Dunne said that he's not done with the Dream. So if this happens anytime in the near future, next pay per view possibly, then we're going to get Pete Dunne versus the Dream 101. So I don't think that ACH will go ahead. Jordan Miles, whatever you want to call him. I'm used to ACH, so I'm gonna continue to call him ACH. I don't care. Just like y'all call Trevor Lee, he's Trevor Lee. That's who he's gonna be to me.
So,
I know ACH.
did they say how long or when he has to choose, or is it like the Money in the Bank? He can decide any time.
I think it's more like Money in the Bank, and he could choose it at any time. It just said a championship of your choice. So if he can hold on to it like Money in the Bank, then yeah, I would definitely wait for an opportunity and cash it in that way. So
Yeah.
if it is anything similar to a Money in the Bank, then absolutely, you pick your spots and walk out a champion. Pick your
Yeah, if there's Money in the Bank rules, then yeah, definitely go after Adam Cole. Definitely. But if not, if you have to pick a match, and this not you can't just cash it in anywhere. I'm just gonna be honest. Like I would say the better odds are going against Dream in that instance. Um, but other than that, that's unless anybody else has anything to say about that match. I want to give Takeover a grade as a whole. Of course, I'm going to give them a solid A, just based off of what I've seen. Um, if I had watched the whole show, I would more than likely give them an A plus. But I think an A is definitely deserving of what they consistently do on a regular basis, regardless.
Let's just go on and say you didn't see the first match, the tag team match. I'm gonna have to say that Angelo Dawkins has really upped his game a lot. being his charisma, being his wrestling, he is really stepping up his game a lot more than he first was. He was getting blown away by Montez, but now he's starting to step up more. He's starting to add some more character in ring and out of the ring, and his wrestling has improved a lot. So I'm very, very impressed by the Street Profits and especially Angelo Dawkins of how much he's improved and become more exciting to watch.
But what's your score overall?
Right.
Uh, I'll give it an A. I'll give it an A. The Mia Yim and Shayna Baszler match was good, but I think it was a little slow, and that kind of brought it down some. Um, but the other matches were amazing, so I'll give it an A.
Chill, what you got?
I definitely am giving it a A. Takeover was just great from top to bottom, man. I really can't off the top just see any real like very intricate things that I just can complain about. I loved everything from the entrances to the spots to the false finishes. It was a great, once again, just a great show.
To wrap it up, I'm going to say I'm giving Takeover an A plus. This by far was one of the best takeovers. It had everything that you needed in a pay-per-view. It had your high spots that were ultimately so high. It had the lows. It had the, oh my God, can't believe this actually happened. The surprise between Killian Dane and Matt Riddle just coming out. We ain't even talk about that, but that right there actually helped boost the rating as well. So this is definitely a 5 out of 5 pay-per-view, top to bottom. um the Shayna match and Mia Yim was, I was expecting a slow match. I love how Mia stooped to her level and just started doing the same heelish type tactics against Shayna. I love that. I thought that it was methodical. I thought the pace was perfect because you needed to slow down right after the triple threat match. I thought that everything in that match, it was a solid 4. Candice, EO, 5. Street Profits and Undisputed Era, 5. Um, Matt Riddle and Killian Dane, even though it wasn't a match, that was still a 5 because they both got a chance to show the hell off. And of course, Johnny Gargano and Adam Cole, that was a 6 out of 5. That match was absolutely incredible. That was an A plus pay per view. So 5 stars all the way around. I don't give a damn what the rest of y'all say. 5 stars, A plus pay per view on the whole.
Okay. All right. So looks like everybody was around the solid A plus marker for NXT. Comes expected. SummerSlam. All right. Now SummerSlam, we know the main roster is weighed a little more heavily. We're a little more harsh with the main roster when we start talking. So when it comes to SummerSlam, um, what do you guys think the match of the night for the main roster for SummerSlam was?
For me, I'm going to go ahead and jump in. I know I'm the lady, so I'm going to go first this time. The match of the night on the main roster, to me, honestly, because it told the most story, because it had the most background behind it, believe it or not, I'm going to go with Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon.
What?
You think I'm playing? You know I'm playing.
I didn't
Come
even.
on. Shane McMahon will never be the
Oh,
top spot. No,
well,
Kofi
hold
and
on. Today he was
top
wrong.
spot. Kofi and Randy Orton was a top spot for me, just because of the fact
Wrestler?
that beside, huh? Can you hear me? Am I
Yeah.
coming in? Okay. Kofi and Randy Orton was the top spot. However, the like highlight of the night was definitely the Fiend. Period. The Fiend was like absolutely incredible. I already knew how that was going to come out, but Kofi and Randy Orton had the most story. and it's going to continue. And a lot of people don't like double count out finishes, but I love a good story. I want that cliffhanger. I want to be drawn in. I want to keep continue to tune in next week. I want to keep seeing what happens. So that's why I'm saying that Kofi and Randy Orton, this is a feud that's been in the making for years, and I think that that was absolutely perfect. No man won. We get to see Kofi coming out of that shell and a slightly, possibly a heel move of or two from Kofi. So that to me was a match of the night because it had everything. It had the elements, it had the great wrestling, it had the story, it had the backstory. It's complete, and we're still going. So that, in a whole, made that the match of the night for me.
You want to know what my match of the night is? I've been waiting for this one. I know it's gonna piss a lot of people off when I say this. My match of
Seth
the night,
Rollins and Brock Lesnar.
damn straight, Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar was my favorite match of the night. And a lot of people are gonna be pissed at me for saying that. But
Oh,
that
I know.
that match,
Brock actually.
yeah, Brock wrestled. That match was actually a great back and forth match. Emotionally, it took you on a high because there were a lot of near falls where you thought it was over for Seth. There were a lot of close calls where you thought it was over for Brock. Seth tried to come in hot like he did the first time with the stomp. And when that didn't seem to work, it almost seemed like it was inevitable for Seth to be done. But that match was a great back and forth match. And it goes to show you once again that when Brock Lesnar is in the ring, when he gives a shit about who he's wrestling, he will put on a good match for you. Um, so a lot of people who have this theory that Brock is just coming to collect a check, he kind of, when he has these big matches, he's out to prove people wrong. We saw it against Triple H. We saw it against Cena. We saw it against Seth. We saw it against AJ. We saw it against even CM Punk at one point in time. So,
Daniel Bryan.
yes, we saw it against Daniel Bryan as well. When Brock Lesnar gives a shit, you will have a great match. Whether you win or lose, you're going to look good in your match with Brock if he cares, and if you care, is what I say first and foremost. Um, there's a lot of good wrestlers that he's had matches against that may not have went over, and a lot of people are going to be quick to point the finger to Brock, but Brock is going out there and doing what Brock does every night. All right,
John Moxley, talking about you.
hey.
Come on, don't say nothing bad about Moxley. He's always right.
Mm-hmm.
Everything he said is the truth.
Absolutely. He's always been the biggest star in wrestling, and everybody who loves him now loved him dearly when he was in WWE.
Hell yeah. I mean, he hasn't changed nothing but his name.
Mm-hmm. He still got the same stupid ass haircut. I ain't gonna say stupid. I ain't gonna go that hard. But he's got the same haircut, same style that he had, the same look that he had in WWE. He just put on a jacket.
He still looks around like he's something's wrong with him.
You know, he's just, instead of Dean Ambrose, he's John Moxley, and he wears an orange vest, and he likes weapons.
Oh, so scary! It's so scary.
Mm-hmm. But we're not gonna dump on Dean Ambrose because Dean Ambrose, I don't think that he dumped on WWE as hard as the people make it out to be though. Like he just gave his point of view when it came from a creative standpoint. He recognized that he wouldn't be where he was if it wasn't for the opportunities that he was given in WWE. So I respect Ambrose. That rib and those shots are more glowing.
Wrestler is a lazy. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to cut you off or overrun you, but a lazy wrestler is a lazy wrestler.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, creative wise, we know what he would like to do creatively. We know he's great at cutting promos, but it's like when the ribs that I'm giving right now, more so at like the fans who are just like, once he joined AEW, he was God. Once AEW said that it was supposed to start, now they can do no wrong. Everything that they do is right and perfect, and WWE should be doing everything that they do. I just want them to be like different shows. But like for those fans who are just relentless and just think that everything that AEW does is right, pipe down. Pipe down. Calm down. Just watch the show for what it is. Don't try to compare to WWE. Because if you really just wanted an alternative to WWE, you would have supported Impact. You would have supported Ring of Honor.
But it's a TNA.
You know what I'm saying? Impact and TNA. When it was either one of them, you would have supported them if you really just wanted an alternative. You know, Impact went directly heads up with WWE on the same night multiple times. They brought in the big names just like AEW is bringing in the big names. They brought in the big guns. They had a TV deal. They were on Spike once. I believe they might have been on USA once before as well. You know, if you guys were just wanting an alternative, the alternative has always been there in North America. What's going on right now is everybody's just kind of riding that hype train. And I'm sorry, I didn't really want to get off task and start ranting, but I mean, hey, it's the last episode of the season. You might as well, you know.
But talk about things happening right now.
I honestly get sick of that. Like that whole, you know, everybody wants to talk about, oh man, AEW is going to kick WWE. AEW's got to live up to NXT first before they can even talk about living up to everything else that WWE does. They're going to have to put together solid events like NXT does. NXT has proven that they're the staple of North American wrestling when it comes to pure wrestling.
See, that's what I have been saying. You know, it's not that I don't like the AEW. It's just the fans who are like, "Oh, AEW's gonna kill WWE." I'm like, no, they're not. And for you to believe that anything is different from them, from the other companies, I mean, they're like, "Oh, well, they have money. So does the other companies. Mm-hmm. They got this guy doing it. Well, they have Cody Rhodes on this. They put on this amazing pay-per-view. Yeah, that's one show." Mm-hmm. Try to do that, and you have to do it every week. When you start doing weekly shows and start coming up with storylines, that's when I'll be like, okay, now we got something. Mm-hmm. You put on one show every couple months, then so what? You just threw a bunch of people on there and said do a bunch of shit. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's just an independent show that's got more money. But once you start building stories, you start building characters, when you start building homegrown characters, not somebody that was made from WWE and their fame is because of their WWE fame, then I'll be like, okay, now we got something. Don't use just people like Chris Jericho and stuff to build your company around. You got to build your own stars. Then it'll be like, okay, now they got something. Now they're building something. Now they have something that I want to be interested in, not just old WWE stars, which all are taking old,
but wait,
old stuff.
But wait, aren't these fans the same ones that when they watch the main roster in WWE, every time an old wrestler comes back, they say you're taking away time from new talent? Other people should be on camera. You should be doing this. You should be doing that. Oh, every time somebody that was famous back in the day comes, people have gone to the extent of saying that when The Rock comes back, I don't like The Rock. The Rock is blah blah blah. He's a showboat. He's a ball hog. Blah blah blah. He's a hot dogger. He's a grandstander. But when Jericho was fighting for AEW's first ever AEW World Championship, when the company
the damn title match,
right? Really? When he's fighting for the title match as soon as they start. Oh, wait a minute! You don't like when the WWE puts all of their executives into matches? You don't like the whole corporate aspect? But yet the biggest matches every show that they've had so far have always featured either the Young Bucks or Cody Rhodes or Kenny Omega. Like, I mean, you know, and it's not the fact that I'm trying to defend WWE. What I'm really more so doing is trying to get to fan logic, mostly. You know, it's not that I'm not a fan. Of course I'm a fan. I'm no more or less of a fan than anybody else. But it's just like when I say fan logic, I mean common, like, internet fan logic, so to speak. And I think that right now, because they're so high on trying to get an alternative, that they're not recognizing that thing that you should be doing for AEW right now is paying attention, because this is the opportunity they have to build on all of the people that they have. You don't have to watch AEW for fantasy booking. You know, you're learning everybody, so you can't watch them with fantasy booking. No matter what WWE does, it's always going to go back to how you think you would have booked it, or how good the match you thought, you know, was. everything has to be like 4 or 5 star matches. And it's like the reality is when you have a weekly show, not only one weekly show, but you have 4 weekly shows that you do, you can't have 5 star matches every single night of every single week. If you did,
Yeah.
what would be the point of me tuning into a pay per view?
Right.
Thank you.
It is true.
Talk about it.
You know, and
Talk
like
about
I
it
said,
Thursday.
my thing is just I just like you said, I was like, just wait to see what they do. Stop saying that they're going to destroy this other company, which no other company has. Just wait. I'm like, okay, I can't wait to see AEW because that's going to be more competition. That's going to be more, it could be back like it was when WCW came and we had WCW, WWE. It made both shows better, and you get to flip back and forth. So you
Mm-hmm.
get to see all the different stuff from both shows. And then all of a sudden, this person leaves AEW, he shows up in WWE. Oh, shoot. It brings some excitement back to wrestling instead of the only other time you see somebody is, on some independent show or in Japan. Now we got two North American promotions. We can actually go to an AEW show when they're around. But to say that they're going to destroy the WWE just because WWE wasn't putting on the greatest shows they could, no. You got to let them build themselves. They got to build their brand up. AEW is new. They got to build that brand. They got to learn. They're starting from the ground. So right now it's just, I can't wait to see what they do. I can't wait to see what happens next. I can't wait to see what the future is holding for all of wrestling. Because it's about to be exciting again.
For sure, for sure. Well, I know we've already went on a little tangent here. Um, we've talked about.
I have one more thing to say. I'm sorry. I had to do it. I have one more thing to say. Um, AEW, you guys, I'm willing to give y'all the benefit of the doubt. You're the hot new thing. You're just like that new restaurant that opens up, that new mom and pop restaurant that opens up. Yeah, for the first few weeks, of course, business is going to be booming. A lot of people are going to come and check you out. But are you going to be able to deliver on a constant level to where people don't get tired of it and go back to the same old chains
Right.
like you used to?
Yeah, that's true.
And,
As
and
now,
what they need to do is worry about their sales and not worry about WWE.
Exactly.
When TNA first started, they were worrying about their sales. They were all focused on the exhibition. They were all focused on tag team. They were focused on something different, and they were amazing. And then they said, well, let's just grab every old wrestler that came from WWE. Well, let's change everything. Let's worry about the heavyweights and not the exhibition. Let's not promote AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels, Petey Williams. And let's go about Kevin Nash, Kurt Angle, all of these people. But we've seen them in every other old promotion. We've seen them. We wanted to see the people that made your company famous. We wanted to see the stuff, these new stars. And when you started focusing on the WWE, when you started trying to be like them, people started dropping off. People was like, well, I don't want to see this. I've already seen this in WWE. I've already seen this in WCW. I want to see the new people. I want to see these young guys. I want to see the six-sided ring. But you started trying to focus on trying to beat them instead of just being different, and it went downhill.
When you brought on Hogan, that was the death of TNA. Y'all agree with me? Hogan was the death of TNA.
That was part of it, but it was when you brought everybody in. When you have Kurt Angle come in and he wins every title in the company, when you have show after show and AJ Styles isn't on the damn show, that's when you're messing up.
But that was also when Hogan took over.
This was later on as well.
Right after Hogan took over, you started getting the Aces and Eights. And Aces and Eights, as good of a concept as it could have been, It was everything wrong that you do with a faction. You have
Mhm.
20 damn people in a damn faction. How many people needs to be in a faction? Who are best?
Bully Ray was your main heel and this new company that we wanted to bring out new stars in.
Holler. Um. Well, I know my man Chill P doesn't have a whole lot more time left on. I know he got to skip out early for us. So Chill P, I wanted to go ahead and get some stuff off before we let you off the show. First and foremost, glad that you joined the show for us full time this year. Um, One of the best moments was getting that theme song after he freshly recorded this thing. I don't know if I've ever told the story of how we ended up with the Marking Out Amongst Friends theme song, but he had been pretty much telling me since like halfway through season one that he was working on something for Marking Out Amongst Friends, and I was like, bet, whatsoever. I ain't never, put pressure because I know he's a busy man. He does a whole lot of things. So, needless to say, season two comes up. He sends me an inbox of the song. I'm at work. I can't play it. I can't listen to work. I'm at a call center at the time. I'm taking calls. I'm like, all right. I get off in like an hour or so. I'll play it when I get in the car. When I got in the car and connected my aux to my phone and played this song for the first time, I said to myself, "Holy shit!" Like this I've never and I've never been wowed off of a song from hearing it once. Like I ain't gonna say never, but it's rare that ever happens. I inboxed
Oh man.
the debate amongst friends cast. I inboxed Troy and Lee for Doc and the Professor. I inboxed the whole Marking Out Amongst Friends administration. Inboxed my boy Wayne. Inboxed my wife, and everybody generally said the same thing. The first time they heard it, you just see the flame emoji come up. So I want to say before anything else, before we start naming off all of our favorite moments from season two, that whole moment coming into debuting that song was one of my favorite moments from season two. So I definitely wanted you to make sure that you got a chance to hear that before you had to jump off because I know you had to jump off early tonight.
Yeah, man, I mean, putting me over like a true friend could, brother. I don't even have any words for that, man. Yeah, man, I just appreciate you for letting me be a part of the show this season. I was in and out. I'm trying to start my own podcast. I'm producing some other music podcasts for other people. So I'm just everywhere right now. But I try my best to get up in here on Thursday. So I do a lot. Appreciate y'all just allow me to be a part of the family. I talk with you all the time. We got some dope things for the new season that I can't wait to talk to you guys about. You know, start producing with you guys. So I'm gonna just keep it short and sweet, man. I just appreciate it again, and we might have a new theme song for the new season, but I'm gonna just
Oh shit!
stay tuned for that.
Oh shoot!
New shit, new shit.
It,
Oh, yeah, gotta
First
keep
of
it
all,
fresh. You know what I'm saying? We gotta keep it fresh. So it will be coming along very, very soon. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I do got a lot of stuff going on, but one of the things I'm very passionate about, Jay knows, is wrestling. Every time he's come over to my crib, I have WWE Network on. I'm watching some old school pay per view, man. I just love this business, and so I'm real passionate about doing this podcast and other things going on. So, man, I just appreciate y'all. Can't wait for the next season.
that's no cap. Like literally, he really be watching like all the old school wrestling when I come over there. Like everything from the '90s, WCW, WWE, whatever. Like every time I go over to his crib, he always watching some old school stuff. So that's why I always rock him. Like everybody that I rock with from when I watch wrestling, and don't get me wrong. I love the current culture. I love people who love the indies and whatnot. But I'm an old school wrestling fan.
So,
You know what I'm saying? Like you can give me Ring of Honor, you can give me TNA, you can give me those shows. The wrestling is good, but an old school tell a story for a couple of months match that even if it's not the best grappling match, I will take any day over a 4 or 5 star match.
It's the whole storyline from back in the day, how they just used to just storyline man. It was just great. Uh,
had the mystery and you
yeah,
just sitting there
man. Yeah,
week to week like, oh man, I can't wait to see what happens next. I can't wait to see next week.
that's a fact, man. That's exactly what I miss, man. So, yeah, I'm always on that. So once again, man, I just appreciate y'all, man. I can't wait for the next season. I can't wait to not even just the next. I can't wait to just sit down, round table it to start talking about next season. So like Jay said, stay tuned. Uh, you got Mrs. Swerves and Kurz. Man, it was just so fun being on this season with you. You are amazing. You know what I'm saying? Mr. VIP, we didn't do a lot of shows together, but your insight, man, I just appreciate listening to you talk about the business as well, man. So, like I said, I'm about to be out of here, but I appreciate y'all so much for letting me be a part of this season. You feel me?
And
No doubt, man.
let me put it my little 2 cents because I'm gonna have to say something. Of course, I wouldn't be me if I didn't. But when Jay shared me the theme song,
Mm.
I replayed it about 12 times. I'm not no I
No
replayed
cap.
it over and over, and over again because it was just that good and I just felt it. And it just felt, how you just have a feeling, that good feeling, like everything is right.
Mm.
Like it just fell in line and it was perfect. And I had to go back and I played it over and over and over again. And I still sing along every time I hear the theme song. So I thank you for giving us that addition because like I walk around and find myself at work talking about come together like a fist, then we do it proud.
Yeah.
I mean,
Light it up and
I'm
burn it down because we marking out.
right. Right. I mean, it's catchy. I love it. And I thank you so much for being a part of this team. And I can't wait to see what the future holds for all four of us because this is something that I really and truly love. I'm so thankful to have been a part of this and I continue to be a part of this. And without my wonderful, wonderful co-host here, I mean, really, Mr. VIP, Mr. Hot Tag, I mean, y'all my family. Y'all are my family. You know that. And
Facts.
even if you are my actual family, but y'all are my family.
Facts.
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 So thank you so much for being a part of this team. And I look forward to a great season 3 with you.
No doubt. All right, y'all. I'm out. Y'all have a good rest of the show, and just keep in touch with us.
All right, dude.
No doubt. No
Yep.
doubt. All right, man. See, this is what I love about the show, man. Like we're all. I know it seems like sometimes we seem like we agree too much some weeks, but it's because we all came up from the same cloth. You know what I'm saying? We all came up old school fans. We all grew up, when wrestling at its heart was about the stories. The golden eras when you had the Hogans out there, the Attitude Era in WWE, the Nitro, you know, like everything had a story back in the day. Like there were great matches, don't get me wrong, that happened, but the story back in the day is what made me like cemented me as a fan. And that's like the when I watch wrestling now, it's like that's the major thing that I feel like is missing. Like everybody wants the opportunity to have a 5 star match, but nobody wants to build to it.
Yeah, very
You know,
true. Like,
everybody
like
everybody wants to come in at the top and they don't want to work their way up. They want to disregard the mid card. They want to disregard pre-shows. They want to disregard development. Like, oh no, I'm the best wrestler in the company. I should be up there with, such and such, such and such. Like you haven't drawn a dime in WWE yet. Calm, pipe down. You know what I'm saying? Earn your
yeah,
keep. Go ahead.
that's one thing. Like you said, the story. You go back and look at it. What do you remember about back in the day? most of the time it's not the matches that you remember. It's, oh, I remember when Sting was sitting up there and they turned on him. They said he did this, and he said, no, I didn't. And he was up in the rafters for over a year. You remember when Hogan and Ultimate Warrior went against each other. You remember the storyline more than just the matches, because the story is what made you fan of it. You know, I will remember, the different stuff that happened with Undertaker. I remember the fake Undertaker. That's what made me a fan of it. It wasn't the matches. It was, well, who is this guy, Mankind? Who is, wait a minute, his brother's still alive? What do you mean his brother's alive? The Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, that's what made you fall in love with it.
Mm-hmm.
Not just the matches, it's the stories that got you into it so much that who cared about the match?
Mm-hmm.
What was going on, what built to that, what happened around that time, that's what built to it.
Mm-hmm.
You go back to the Attitude Era. Yeah, I don't remember any Val Venus match, but I damn sure remember the Choppy Choppy Kiki.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that.
I was
I don't remember his punches,
traumatized.
but I swear, I was like, oh my God, no, they're not. Not the Big Balboski, I remember that. So that's one thing, when people say, they're working on a story, and a lot of new wrestlers today just want to go out there and have 5-star matches, and people are like, yeah, that's good, but you will never be remembered for that.
Mm-hmm.
You can do 100 flips, but don't tell a story, and nobody cares.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the
You know,
major.
Exactly.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to cut you guys off, but there were two stories that really like resonated with me. My two stories, like one of them, y'all know off gate. The whole "I'm better than you," Matt Hardy and MVP. I brought this story up so many times.
Mm-hmm.
It had little to do with wrestling. One is half man, half amazing, half tag team champion with his rival Matt Hardy. MVP and Matt Hardy was one of the greatest stories because it didn't just take place inside the ring. They played basketball, they played chess, they won the tag titles together. That right there told a whole story of I'm better than you. And you just got to realize that. You have to prove it. Prove to me that you're better. Prove to me that you're the better person. Prove to me that you're the better wrestler. I can outbeat you in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't matter if it's chess or if it's basketball or if it's in the ring. Regardless of what you do, I'm better. And that story in
Sheesh.
itself spoke on so many volumes. That story in itself was a great jump off to a great feud. It had a great culmination there. And I remember that forever. And that's always going to be one of my favorites. Now, one of my other favorites is still Drew McIntyre being the chosen one. I loved how he all the time would talk to Teddy Long instead of like, Teddy, I'm the chosen one. Teddy. I mean, like he was handplucked by Vince McMahon himself. He had all the praise. Now, granted, Drew McIntyre was very green back then. He's not the Drew McIntyre that we all know and love today. Some of y'all may hate, but that's okay because you're supposed to hate him. He is a heel. I love him because I love Drew McIntyre. I've always liked the guy. But it was a great story battling back and forth trying to prove that he was the top of his game, that he was ultimately the guy, he was a man, he was a face. This was just everything about Drew McIntyre and Teddy Long going back and forth. That told an incredible story. The whole Dolph Ziggler, Vicky Guerrero, Edge, anything involving Vicky Guerrero was great storytelling. And we need to go back to those great storytelling. And I'm so glad that we're seeing this right now with the who tried to attack Roman Reigns, who took Roman Reigns out of SummerSlam. Like
Mm-hmm.
we've got these little elements starting to come back and it's telling stories and it's incredible. And it's making me a fan again. It's making me feel like I'm a kid again because we got these incredible stories. Mind you, I was grown at the time. Yeah, I'm old. I'm the oldest person on this show, but it's taking me back to a time where it was a little bit better, where things were a little bit easier, where I wasn't adulting as much as I was. But these stories, this this telling of these guys and these situations and stuff like that. I mean, Mickey James and Trish Stratus, that was one of the greatest stories of all time. I mean, you
I
have
literally just thought about that. I was about to
exactly.
say that.
Mickey and Trish was a one of the best female stories that they ever had. One of the absolute best ones that has ever been told with the females. So you continue to build great stories like this on a regular basis, and nobody is going to want to tune out. Everybody's going to be like, oh crap, what's going to happen next week? Oh my gosh. Okay, we got Rowan and Daniel Bryan right now about to tell Roman who actually attacked him next week. Oh my god, I gotta watch SmackDown next week. I gotta make sure that I don't miss this because I'm involved. Thank you for bringing me back to being involved again. I'm sorry, I had to rant. That was me. Y'all go ahead.
That was that was good. I mean, I had to let you rock on that one. This is true marking out amongst friends fashion right now. Just us going off on a tangent, ranting about different stuff, getting off task. That's just I wouldn't have it any other way but with you guys. Other than like the theme song, some of my favorite moments from this season. Um, First and foremost was the interview that we did with Richie. Um, was
Oh my God.
definitely one of my top moments because he was going off on a tangent on the indie scene. He was spilling the tea about your guy from the revival and how he was behind
Scott
the
Dawson.
scenes. Yeah, he was going off about Scott Dawson or Casey McKnight back in the day. Um, and how he was as far as an indie wrestler and how, what his motivation was more money than anything else, which is not a bad thing. He had one of his arch rivals, I would say, who was absolutely, and this is the part that you guys couldn't see, that was absolutely lighting up our live chat that night. Like trying to get on the show to go against Richie. And, he was lighting it up. That was an epic night. Has I know he recently moved to Georgia, so I don't know where he is as far as starting the CWE anymore or kicking it back. But if he definitely does that, we got to make sure we stay posted on that.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite moment too. That was an epic night. The stories he was telling and all the insight he had. I mean, to actually have somebody that's actually been in the business, is actually, was a promoter for his own shows. Um, it was great insight. Um, and yeah, like you said, it was he didn't pull no punches. But yeah, I don't know right now. The other promotion is probably going to be on hold if he moves. Um, we can still probably get him on the show again. Uh, but yeah, right now, if he's in Atlanta, that might not be happening not too soon. But yeah, we've had some great times this year, this season.
This season has been the coming out for all of us. Um, Not as in like sexual or nature or anything like that. Not that type of coming out. But
Whoa,
if you
whoa,
can hear my son in the
whoa.
background, I'm talking about us starting to come into our own on the show, us being people, and us showing y'all how we really and truly feel. Like the real us is starting to break out of our shells, and we enjoy doing this for you guys, regardless of if I have 1,000 listeners or one listener. Anybody who can at least take away a little bit of my swerves and curves, my talk about it Thursday, anything like that. If you agree with me or you disagree with me or you love me or you hate me, and you care, You put forth the energy to care, and I greatly appreciate and all of you appreciate because without our marking out the family, without without our father, and yes, I'm rambling on and on and excuse me, I have a couple of cocktails, but without you guys, this show wouldn't be the same. That's been my favorite part of the show is all of us coming into our own
I was
and the
laughing
little
about the
things that we
siren.
have.
I,
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. They keep doing it.
it got loud as hell that time. It was like I couldn't even hear what she was saying. Like, and she was getting into thinking everywhere. I was like,
What's,
If you
what's
didn't hear
so
me,
funny?
I was thanking everybody for being themselves and coming out of their cocoons to, yeah, I say cocoon, excuse me. My son is in here with me and he's giving his insight as well. So we are having a good, and there we go.
holler if you hear me.
Holla, 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 player. You gonna wanna work with the Undertaker.
Oh, but
Our game, our games have been incredible. Go ahead.
it has. It has. That's another thing I've loved about this season. Like just the more of the having fun. Uh, More so of the games that we played. This game, the time when we did the trivia Tuesday, and and Mr. VIP had the hoo the whole show every time we mentioned somebody from the Shield or the Shield in general. Oh my God, that was hilarious. Uh, Lady Great when you definitely showed out and won the first ever trivia game that we ever done, even though you said to yourself that you weren't going to win all day that day and ended up winning.
Yeah, it was by hook or by crook. I don't know how the hell I did, but I did. It was it was out there. But regardless of that, I never did get a chance to do my trivia and stuff like that. But we'll just stay tuned because season three, I'm gonna get y'all. And y'all gonna be having to do something real silly and it's gonna be live for everybody to see. Yes, I'm gonna be on for season three, son. Yes, sir.
I can't wait. Like season 3 is definitely going to be lit. There's a lot of stuff that I can't really jump into because I don't want to give away some of the surprises. Um, Chill already mentioned that he might be doing a different theme for season 3. Um, there may be some changes platform wise for season 3 for those of you guys who are listening to us now. That's not to say you can't still listen to us on the same platforms that you always do. We're just the way that we deliver things, the night and things may change, may not. Only way you can know for sure is to stay tuned in. Um, Other than that, um, Mr. VIP, did you have any specific ones or anything that you want to discuss else as far as favorite moments of the season or memorable moments from the season?
Uh, I mean, we covered a lot. My rants on AEW and the fans and stuff, that was always fun. Um, I love doing that. But yeah, like you said, just being able to do a show, just like you said, like we basically been doing all the time, just talking about wrestling, which we all love, and coming together, and just having a good time, talking about something we all enjoy. Um, Very important and very special to me. And it's always a good time. Whatever's going on in your life, when you can talk about something you enjoy, you can forget about the problems and complications and everything else going on in your life and just have fun. Just remember, life isn't always about working and stressing over this and that. You know, you can have fun sometimes. Enjoy your life. So that's what I remember about this season.
Exactly.
Big facts, man. Like we all have ideas, you know, that we've had for the show, all season. You know, the months prior leading up to the season, and you know, one general consensus that we always wanted was we wanted the show to be something that's fun for not only us but for everybody who listens in, whoever listens. You know, we want it to be a fun experience for everybody. You know, anybody can get on here and talk about, you know, this week in wrestling news. You know, you don't even have to be really a wrestling fan to do that. But to have a show that where we have fun and other people who listen can have fun as well. Other people who listen could join. You know, we can bring in anybody we want to on the show pretty much. You know, that's the type of show that is going to be a better experience than listening to the show that talks about this week and this week and such and such. So just making the show all around a more fun experience is all of what we're about over here.
Do that. Do that.
I like our individual personalities a lot more because everybody is not robotic. We
Hmm.
are all genuine. We all speak from the heart, whether we hate something and we show passion regardless, or if we love it, we show passion about it. And that's a lot of things that's missing in a lot of different shows. Yeah, you can talk about recap and stuff like that and not shows any emotion whatsoever. We love this. We are passionate. We hate things, we love things. And I must say this. I had to talk about it Thursday and I ranted on Sasha Banks. I went off on Sasha Banks. I am not a fan of a face Sasha Banks. However, love heel Sasha Banks. That's where
I
she
love
is.
I love Sasha Banks and Heels too.
That's where she is. That's where she feels the most passionate and she shows that
Yes.
she is willing to put in the work. That's where her passion lies. That fake stuff I can do without. Be real, be your true self. If you hate everybody and everybody hates you, the better. That's the type of person I don't want to be fake.
Very true. Very true.
Wait, I was just waiting a second. So I don't have to yell. Okay. I don't want you to be fake. I want to see the real you. I want to see the type of passion that you actually have for this business. And for her to have been a huge fan of the business and a fake face is not where it lies. It lies in your heel nature. How good of a heel, how good are you at making people hate you is how great is I'm going to love you. So Sasha Banks coming back and beating the crap out of Natalia.
Beating the shit out of her. Whooped
She beat
her
the holy
ass.
out of Natalia and Becky. And
Keep
that's
your head down.
for I love it.
It looked like they're trying to do it more just because I'm on the podcast. We got it. We're gonna have to get Scott Steiner on here.
Um, but either way it goes, given ourselves and given our opinions and our talkabouts and our trash and just being able to do these things that we love and we hope you love us too. That's the simplest way.
Big facts, big facts. I definitely, for all of those who've been listening, for all those that listen every week, to those who maybe have only listened once or twice, even those who haven't listened to us since the first season, anytime that any of you guys are giving us a chance, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Other than for ourselves, we definitely do this shit for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys make this shit worth it. I like I said, I could care less if we only got 3 views on every video. that we do from here on out. It's just fun to be able to get on and have something that we created and somebody likes what we do. Anytime that somebody likes what you're doing, that means you're doing something right, and there's nowhere to go but even further from there. So for everybody who's been a fan since day one, for those who haven't been a fan, or maybe just listen here and there, or maybe those who've only given us a chance, once or twice, thank you guys for giving the opportunity to listen, and for giving us our time. Um, Other than that, anybody else have any final thoughts or anything that they want to jump in on?
My final thought is stay tuned. There's more.
Yeah, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. He's coming soon.
Absolutely. Well, you guys definitely,
Holla, if you hear.
y'all definitely
Hold
look
on, hold
out.
on, hold on. I have before we go, I got a very special guest who wanted to put in a little comment.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna hand the phone off to my special guest. If you didn't know, that
Mr.
was
Marcus.
Mr. Marcus in the building, not to be confused with the old school entertainer. This is the new Mr. Marcus.
The other guy.
Yeah, we don't. Matter of fact, forget I said it.
he's not Mr. Marcus. That is just Marcus. Just Marcus. We're not going to hype Mr. Marcus on this show because him and Val Venus have a little too much in common, and I don't want that. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm looking forward to season 3. It's been a great season 2. Thank you all, everyone, for all of your support, regardless. As I said before, 1 viewer or 1,000 viewers, we're going to stay the same for you guys. And if there's something that you don't like, holler at me and I will look. I might respond. I might change, but I'm going to be me 100%. So,
You don't like
All
what I
day,
say.
every day.
You don't like what I say. You can come see me. I don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say.
Well, you don't like what I say, you can kiss my ass.
like I said, my swears and curves are coming at you. Just because I listen doesn't mean I'm going to actually listen. I hear you, but that doesn't mean I'm going to listen.
Big facts, big facts. Well, my final thought from the night, definitely it was fun doing season 2. A lot of highs on this season, a lot of new things. We're gonna continue bringing more new stuff to you guys. Stay tuned. We will still be posting to the page. So if you guys don't already follow us. Marking Out Amongst Friends, the podcast page on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Marking Out Amongst Friends. If you guys want to get into more of an intimate conversation about wrestling, we also have our group, the Game Runners, where all of us are admins on that group, as well as a lot of our other friends that we deal with. So if you guys
If
want
the
to,
ladies want to get into any if the ladies want to get into any intimate conversations, you know what?
hey, that's on you.
This is not playing fish.
I
This is
cannot
not
make any
when
comment on that. I cannot make any
not.
comment on that.
I'm talking about wrestling. Just talking about wrestling.
Uh-huh. What kind of
Sure,
wrestling? Is it
sure.
just we're not Summer Rae.
Get somebody tossed in a Tesla.
All right. Well, listen to us on YouTube /Marking Out Amongst Friends. Follow us on iTunes. Follow us on the Google Podcast app. Just type us in, Marking Out Amongst Friends. We'll be on there. Follow us on Twitter. We don't have a Twitter page at the moment, but you can follow our parent company, Debate Amongst Friends, at Debate Amongst Friends on there. You can follow all of us on social media. My handle on Twitter and on Instagram, Mr. President. That's President with a Z instead of an S. Mr. President 86. Holla at me on Instagram. Holla at me on Twitter. Lady Great One.
Yeah, you can hit me up on Lady Great One, LADYGR number 81. not with the hashtag, leave the pound sign, leave the ampersand after. Tyler, I'm comparing my photo right now. It's usually pulled back in a brown ponytail. There's if you want to find me, you can find me. I'm not that hard to find. But look for my swerves and curves.
Big facts, big facts. Well, for the last time for the season, that's going to be the end of Marking Out Amongst Friends, the podcast. Great show, great show. Can't wait to get back to you guys next season for season 3. Can't wait to have you guys back on season 3. My panel here, all of my co-hosts, ready to strap up and ride this thing one more time. Pause. But before we leave for the season and leave you guys hanging until November when we come back for SummerSlam, there's one more thing that we got to do. You guys know what time it is. What time is it, y'all?
The music.
Damn music.
Looks like a fan.
Marking out.
He was marking out, man.
450 off the top with the topics. Leader of the new school, ain't no way to stop us. Mark it out, screaming loud, tell me who you with. Competition is none, cause we lunatics. Walk with me down these roads if you're all in. I love the feeling, baby, time to go to work again. Come together like a fist and we do it proud. Light it up and burn it down, cause we marking out.